I'm here with Dr. Thomas Whittam, Professor and Chair of Veterinary and Preventative Medicine at The Ohio State University's College of Veterinary Medicine. And we're taking water samples out of the river. So, you got me out of my element, Dr. Whittam. You got me here by the riverbanks. You're scooping up water. What are we looking for?
We're looking for antibiotic-resistant bacteria, but not just any antibiotic-resistant bacteria. We're looking for ones that shouldn't be here.
So, wait, let me get this straight. You're looking for antibiotic-resistant bacteria in our water?
Sure. We're finding resistant bacteria that shouldn't be here. We would expect to find them in hospitals where we have very sick patients who are getting a lot of antibiotics, probably to save their lives. But we're finding some of those same bacteria here in the river.
Finding resistant bacteria in the hospitals is probably bad enough, but these are sources of where we get our drinking water. That can't be good for us. Is that an issue that we might be drinking some of this stuff?
Well, for the most part, we won't be drinking it in our homes because that water is treated, but we can be exposed to the river water. Our pets can be exposed. Animals on farms can be exposed to this. So there's lots of potential problems of finding these resistant bacteria in the water.
Many of us who are not vegetarians do eat animals. Is that an issue for us ingesting these meats if they have antibiotic-resistant bacteria in them?
Well, that's one of the things we're concerned about, and one of the reasons we're doing this research is because of the possibility that those resistant bacteria that were originally in hospitals flow down the river and somehow get introduced into farms and into the animals on those farms. That someday may go into the food supply, and the possibility they could take those resistant bacteria back into the food supply, where we could be exposed through the food we eat.
You published a landmark paper about this stuff, I think working with piglets. Can you share a little bit about what that study showed?
Yeah, so we work with farms all over the U.S. and on one pig farm we worked with, we found one of these unexpected resistant bacteria.
So how concerned are you and your colleagues that are doing this? I mean, what's the level of severity for this work?
We still don't know how widespread it is, and we don't think it's very common, but there's certainly some potential for it to become a bigger problem. And so we need to find out what level the problem is. We need to be able to intervene now and do something about it now. It's a slow-growing pandemic.
You just dropped that word again, pandemic. We've been hearing about this. So this can get to pandemic levels that can impact not just livestock, humans, of course.
Yep, absolutely. The problem of antibiotic resistance is huge. Has the potential to take away one of our most important medicines that we have to treat people who are in life-threatening situations who might die.
So the great thing about scientists is that we're problem solvers. How are you solving this problem?
Well, my job is to find the problems. I work with other scientists like Dr. Emily Faes. It's her job to find the solutions.
Thanks for that. We're definitely going to check her out to see if she's got the solutions for this big problem. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Whittam.
Thanks for inviting me.
Dr. Emily Faes is the director of The Ohio State University's Veterinary and Medical Center Antimicrobial Stewardship Program. Dr. Faes, so good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to see you as well.
With the recent finding of antibiotics in our water here in Ohio and antibiotic-resistant bacteria in our produce and our meats, do we really have to worry about this?
So I think it's definitely something that we need to be aware of. Antibiotic resistance bacteria are everywhere, which I know sounds pretty scary, and I don't want to terrify everybody. But what I want people to be is aware of the issue so that they can take steps to protect themselves, their family, and their pets, which is something we don't always necessarily think about when we think about health concerns that affect us as people. I think we all know bacteria are everywhere. They've been around since the dawn of time. And the reason that they're still with us today is because they continue to evolve ways to keep living. So it's not surprising that then we have resistant bacteria in many places. So we've had studies that have found them in our water supply. We have studies that show in our soil, in our bodies, in animals' bodies. And we just need to be aware of this, and we need to take steps to protect. And those steps would be things like washing your hands, which I know we hear all the time with COVID now. Same thing for bacteria and antibiotic resistant bacteria. Washing them after you use the bathroom, before you're gonna eat, after you've pet your dog or your cat, when you're in the kitchen cooking and preparing your meals. I think there's a lot of areas that we're not aware of where antibiotics are used, like in our produce. They spray citrus trees with antibiotics to help them grow and protect them from diseases. Again, we take steps, we wash our fruit before we use it. In regards to food, I know that there's been a lot of concerns about antibiotics in our meat supply. You can protect yourself by cooking your meat properly. The United States Department of Agriculture actually has cooking temperatures that will kill bacteria. These are regular bacteria and also antibiotic resistant bacteria. They're not resistant to heat.
I want to go back to something you said, which is really interesting. You said actually it's the prescription or use of antibiotics themselves that actually catalyzes or kicks off this antibiotic resistant strain. Can you explain that a little bit?
So when we start our pets on an antibiotic course, typically when I was in practice, I would prescribe 3 weeks of an antibiotic. And that's because the literature suggested that that's the length of time that's needed to completely clear an infection. I would oftentimes get clients calling me back at week 1 saying, the lesions, the infection, the redness, the itching, the bumps, they're all gone. Do I really need to go on with 2 more weeks? It's hard to remember, and which I totally understand. I have both kids and pets. It is hard to remember, to give antibiotics and give them on time. But I would tell them it is critically important to continue on, because even though you're seeing the stoppage or the resolution of these outward visible signs, what you're not seeing is the microscopic world, and that there are still bacteria there, and that the antibiotics are still fighting them off, and your body is still fighting them off with the support and the time to develop antibodies that the antibiotics are kind of giving it. So it's really important, because if you stop it and those bacteria, even just a smattering of them, say 10 organisms, remain, they can potentially, those might be resistant organisms that then were not killed if they had had more time, might have ended up being killed, now can come back with an infection that is resistant to the drug that you were using. The important thing is to, get the care, listen to the instructions of your doctor or your veterinarian. Take the drugs as they're prescribed. Don't share them with your family members. Don't share your drugs with your pet. Take them for the right amount of time. Don't just stop them because you're feeling better or your pet's looking better. If you have concerns about whether or not you need to continue them, call your doctor or call your veterinarians, and you can have that conversation rather than just stopping it on your own and potentially promoting the development of resistance because the infection hasn't cleared and you stop too soon. We just need to be conscientious of this because it does have such a big impact. So when we use them, we use these drugs wisely.
Tell us about the Antimicrobial Stewardship Program at OSU. What is it? What's it about? How to get started?
What antimicrobial stewardship is, in the most simple way possible, and I love this definition, is it's using the right drug at the right dose for the right duration or timeline so that you're maximizing positive treatment outcomes while minimizing negative side effects and the development of antimicrobial resistance. An antimicrobial stewardship program takes the concept, the principles of stewardship, and brings them to the forefront of everyone's attention in the clinical setting.
It's not just students, it's like a whole ecosystem. The students learn it, but also you train the physicians and the people in the hospital, and so that collaboratively we can ensure we're doing the best by these antimicrobials?
Yep. I would say, yes. So our main missions, kind of the main goals of our stewardship program is, one, to benefit our patients by reducing their risk of getting resistant infections and giving them the best care possible. It's to educate our students so that they know these concepts and they can put these principles into practice, into action. But with that also does come education of potentially faculty and staff, because we do have experts in these infectious diseases. And then coming kind of back to our goals, the last one is to benefit society. So because antimicrobial resistance is a problem not just in the animal world, not just in the human world, but kind of all intertwined, we need to be thinking about protecting public health. In fact, we swear to protect public health in our veterinarian's oath, which I don't think a lot of maybe the general public is aware of. It's not just animals, we care about people too.
Dr. Fayaz, thank you so much. You are a wealth of antibiotic and antimicrobial information. Thank you for spending some time with us here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.